One, we're gonna be doing our documentary and let's explain what is globalization for us. Okay, this is a term to describe how trade and technology have made the world into a more connected and interdependent place. As we know, the government and its people within its country has always a connection with each other because we always buy supply and demand. As we know, when we integrate between people and companies and governments within the trade policy, we can already disfing these things as we already know because people in the government already protecting us when it comes to buying a product from another country. But there's some cases that we don't even get the things we get from them, and it's usually the people or the companies buying from the other country and bring it here without the government knowing, but it really helps. Okay, next. Okay, the challenges into globalization is the Asian financial crisis. As we know, in July 1997 in Thailand, it stopped the defending of the baht, leading to a rapid fall in the currency. After months of downward the market pressure, as we know, the Asian financial crisis is something is affected to financially actually. And it's really sad to know because it's just something to be known on, and it quickly spread to our neighboring countries. As we know, it's fast. It quick away, like it's fast moving, like the currency or the financial crisis quick away gone because of people removing their money from the bank because they lost their trust from the bank to keep their money because of getting bankrupt, and then you cannot get your money anymore. The another one, the post 9/11 US protectionism. As we know, it's a protectionist police place specific restriction international trade and benefit of a domestic economy. As we know, the 9/11 is really a big tragic of the terrorists from what happening from the past, but this really helps us. So this is really the challenge from globalization. Next. Okay, the economic manifestation. The integration of economies is driven by the aim of free global market with the minimal trade barrier, fostering the competition across borders. As we know, there is some challenges really on building trade with other people who has barriers, but as we know, if we build trust with them, then it's going to be easy with us, but it's gonna be taking time for us. Okay, the development of international trade, the international market and corporation resulted in increase of global interdependence, because when we build business, it helps really the market to have trade. If we don't have trade, then you don't have a supply.
The international economy has changed due to globalization, which is defined by a rise in cross-border commerce, investment, and cultural interaction. Income disparity, market integration have been complicatedly impacted by this transition. The way these two facets of globalization interact highlights the complexity of its effects. The integration of global market is one of the main ways that globalization affects income disparity. As borders are opened, capital, products, and services may move more easily across countries, increasing their economic interdependence. Although this can encourage development and economic progress, it also presents difficulties that might make income disparity worse. The level of competition increases in a globally linked market, particularly in sectors of the economy that are open to trade with other countries. Competitors in developing economies with reduced labor costs can pose a threat to low skilled workers in industrialized nations. In an attempt to save costs, businesses may outsource manufacturing or move to a nation with cheaper wages, which will have an effect on employment growth and job prospects in higher cost areas. And the practice tends to increase the disparity in income between skilled and unskilled workers, both within and across countries. Because it influences capital mobility, market integration also has an impact on the distribution of wealth. By establishing operation in countries with more advantageous condition, multinational firms can take advantage of differences in labor, standards, and tax rules. This capacity to maximize profits may result in an unequal allocation of economic gains, with a disproportionate amount going to executives, investors, and shareholders, exacerbating income inequality. Furthermore, the financial components of globalization may have an impact on the distribution of income. Although investors can diversify their proportion through global financial markets, the gains are not shared equally. Rich people are able to negotiate these markets more skillfully than individuals with little financial literacy or resources, which allows them to accumulate wealth faster. They also have more access to financial instruments and information. This means that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Globalization driven market integration has facilitated the cross border exchange of best practices, expertises, and technology. This has the potential to lessen some of the detrimental impacts on income inequality by increasing productivity, fostering the growth of new sectors, and promoting economic development. In summary, there is a complex and dynamic link between market integration, income inequality, and globalization. Although the opening of international markets has the potential to promote economic growth and lessen poverty, there are drawbacks that might make income inequality both inside and between nations worse. The guarantee that the advantages of globalization are distributed more fairly across nations. Addressing this issue calls for a complex strategy that combines law that supports social safety nets, fair labor standards, and inclusive economic development. To add to the conclusion, there is a complex interaction of possibilities and difficulties between market integration, income disparity, and globalization. Globalization has accelerated economic development and growth, but its effect on income distribution have been unequal. The unrestricted movement of capital, products, and services propels market integration, which affects income disparity in both favorable and unfavorable ways. On the other hand, it may result in more competition, the loss of jobs, and the elite's money being concentrated. However, it may also make it easier for resources, technology, and information to be transferred, which promotes economic growth and the fight against poverty. It also promotes innovation for our country. A comprehensive strategy that recognizes the multidimensional characters of globalization's effect is needed to address the complexity it has brought forth. In addition to economic policies, policymakers must take into account social policies that provide social safety nets, accessible education, and fair work standards. Market integration must be supported by policies that guarantee the advantages are distributed fairly, encourage inclusiveness, and lessen unfavorable effects. Through acknowledging the interdependence of globalization, income inequality, and market dynamics, communities may endeavor to achieve a more equitable and enduring worldwide economic environment.
Or demand. Next, the crisis of the global capitalism. The advancement of the existing global economic government system where certain problem comes from the government, it really becomes a problem because of the government not doing their job very well. As we know, if we have projects, then we can ask from help from the other countries to get some loan to build some infrastructure. Okay, these are the two one we use. The World Bank. an international finance institution that offers loans and grants to the country's government. As we know, the World Bank is giving us loan to build us a country development. Of course, we should have asked the World Bank for loans, but of course, it should be used in the government or the development of the infrastructures in our country. Okay, this one, the World Trade Organization that regulates the facilities international trade within different UN countries or the United Nations. This is really something we should know about because as we know, countries in different countries should have a regulatory rules when it comes to building a trade. Okay, next one. The international civilization. Of course, that's when people or the country civilize a country. Okay? The validity of international laws, such as the law of the war, independence, or whether they follow or what does the state want to do in the country. As we know, if they colonize or civilize the country, you should follow what the people are saying, and we should lead or follow what they're saying, because if we don't follow, then it will resort something on a war, or if we follow, then they will have their culture here in our country. Okay, next. This is the two. Okay, the European salvation. As we know, the euro was created to promote growth, stability, and economic integration in Europe. That's why in Italy, France, and other countries, they just have one currency, because if they want to help the country, then they will just bring a euro and they don't need to exchange for a big profit. So it's just something to help the country itself, because they don't have to exchange the money for a bit smaller value, but they can help each other with its one currency, and they just build and give it to the country that needs help. That's easily connection. Okay, next, the United Nations. The organization was established in 1945 by 51 countries dedicated to promoting social progress and human rights and maintaining international peace and security. This is we usually hear because we have this delicated and social progress and of human rights. That's why it gives peace and security for each country when we have United Nation. That's why it really helps. And at least, thank you.
Hello, I'm Linus Ricoforte, and I'm here to present Module 4. Firstly, let's delve into dependency, autonomy, and culture. Dependency refers to reliance on others for support or resources. Autonomy is the ability to act independently and make decisions without external control. Culture encompasses shared values, beliefs, and practices within a group, shaping their identity and behavior. First is economic dependency. Dependency, the interconnectedness of countries in trade, investment, or financial aid. Autonomy, developing domestic industries, reducing dependence on external factors, and fostering self-sufficiency. For culture, economic policies shaped by national values to reflect and respect the unique identity of the nation. Political relations, dependency. Nations engage in alliance or partnerships for security, shaping global political dynamics. Next is autonomy, pursuing independent foreign policies and decision-making to assert interest in the international stage. Culture, diplomatic approaches influenced by cultural norms and historical context. Technological advancements, dependency, nations may depend on foreign technology, impacting innovation and competitiveness. Autonomy, investing in research and development, fostering domestic innovation, and reducing reliance on external sources. Culture. Cultural values impact how a society embraces or resists technological changes. Examples of this in countries. For economic dependency is China. Dependency, many countries rely on China for manufacturing and trade. For autonomy, recognizing this, some nations aim to diversify their supply chains to reduce dependence on a single economic partner. For culture, balancing economic interests with cultural values, countries navigate cultural differences in business practices and negotiation. Next is political relations. European Union or EU. dependency, EU member states collaborate closely on a political and economic matters. For autonomy, individual nations within the EU maintain autonomy in a certain policy area, reflecting diverse political landscapes. For culture, cultural diversity among member states influences diplomatic approaches and policy decisions within the Union. Next is technological advancements, which is Korea, South Korea. South Korea has been a major player in the global technological industry. The country invests heavily in research and development, aiming for a technologically self-sufficient country. Technological innovation is influenced by a culture that values education and embraces technological advancements. Next, we will talk about globalization in Asia, Pacific, and South Asia. Globalization refers to the interconnectedness and independence of economies, societies, cultures on a global scale. In the context of Asia Pacific and South Asia regions, globalization has significantly impacted economic, social, and cultural aspects. For in Asia Pacific, globalization has propelled the region to the forefront of the global economy. Countries like China, Japan, South Korea, and the ASEAN nations have experienced rapid economic growth through increased trade, foreign direct investments, and technological advancements. The emergence of global supply chains and the integration of markets have played a pivotal role in the region's economic success. However, challenges such as income inequality, environmental concerns, and geopolitical tensions have accompanied this growth. In Southeast Asia, globalization in South Asia have resulted in economic liberalization and increased connectivity. India, in particular, have emerged as a major player in the global IT and service industries. While globalization has opened doors to economic opportunities, it has exposed the region to issues like poverty, political instability, unequal development, and cultural exchange, and technological innovation. And these changes in lifestyles have been notable aspects of globalization in Southeast Asia. Thank you.
So you're probably wondering, why is Alfred not in the video? Maybe he didn't want to do the video? Or he doesn't want to do anything? Or is he busy? No, I don't think so. Because as far as I know, I've been really active in class. I really learned a lot, especially the like I like ma'am really made me realize that capitalism is not it. They are profiting out of poor people's hard work. And then especially liberalism. Oh, I hate. Now I kind of understand why people hate liberalism a little bit. Because neoliberalism, when Miss Ma'am told us what is neoliberalism, it's the privatization of the public commodities like transportation, expressways, uh, LRTs, MRTs. Private companies are profiting out of the public. Oh, it just makes me so angry. The reason I also learned from this is that one reason why countries are not developing as much is because of modern day. Say it with me. Modern day colonization. Colonization. It never ended. In fact, they rebranded. They rebranded, changed the packaging, and it just makes me so angry. I don't know why. Also, I've edited the video and I am the leader. I voluntarily lead the group. I try to make them do their work, remind them when it's due. It's really kind of hard because, ooh, if we didn't do it successfully, I get to be the blame. So yeah, heart, heart, bye.